How's everybody doing, and welcome to the fish room. It's been a few months since my last video, so I thought I'd walk you guys through the fish room, check out some fish, show you what's going on. And if you guys obviously clicked on this video and saw the title, I'm going to talk more about that later. I'll start off by saying these 55-gallon tanks over here are kind of my focus point right now, what I'm working on. I've been breeding guppies, German blue rams, and bristlenose plecos for a few years now. My main focus now is going to be higher end bristlenose plecos, like your super reds, your long fins, your calicos, even like the lemon blue eyes. And then I want to have 4 species of guppy. I'm going to do reds in here, my fancy guppies in that bottom tank, my purple deltas, and then my yellow half blacks. The yellow half black tank's looking really good. I had maybe 3 different tanks of these, and I kind of condensed them and put them all in this 55-gallon. So they're doing well. Really, one of my favorite strains of guppy is the yellow half black. They have that tuxedo, like black body with the yellow fins on top and back. And some of them even get like a steel head. This one kind of has it there. When you look from above, they have like blue on their head. Really cool, hard to kind of capture right now. I don't want to take too much time doing that. But the yellow half blacks are doing well. That tank's pretty established. A lot of hiding places. We have our acrylic yarn, some fake plants, running off of a sponge filter. And then I have my Pleco breeding cave that help elevate the sponge filter and kind of give a place for breeding. Over in the red guppy tank, I have my mint still doing really well. This is like aquaponics. If you guys have seen those videos, if not, go back and check them out. Basically what's happening here is I'm pumping air into that tube back there. Throws water up top, there's gravel, and the mint kind of just takes over. Any plant you can filter water through that's going to grow is going to help remove nitrates and kind of be an additional filtration to your tank, so that's always kind of cool. And down here you can see we have our reds. There's a nice big female there. These guys are starting to not have the biggest delta tail, but they're kind of just a hardy red guppy. Really still like these guys. They're a nice starter for anybody who wants to get into breeding, and I do sell those guys on my website. Even though I'm kind of under construction, I got to change some things up on my website. But I also have a lot of plecos in here. I'm getting a real bad glare, but this is kind of my fancy tank with calicos. Try to at least focus in on one of these guys. There's a nice calico pleco right there. We have a long fin common there, and a bunch more super reds. Kind of fighting the glare, but we'll just kind of keep going forward with that. I'm not going to go through every single tank, but I'm going to highlight on some of the breeding that's going on. This 10-gallon here, I have a lot of the red baby plecos, so they're about a ½ inch to an inch now. Some are larger than others, and I just took some things out because I will be moving these guys. But really doing well with the super red plecos now, and that's kind of my focus. I've been breeding plecos for a while, and I've had hundreds, if not thousands, of plecos at any given time. I can show you those later, but the super reds definitely sell better, and I kind of want to focus on doing less fish and higher end stuff, just for space reasons, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But I'll show you these, and I have another tank of the reds breeding. Here's a real basic breeding for profit setup. We have some hiding places. We have a breeding cave here with the male hanging out, and you can see below him and on the walls we have some 2-week-old baby plecos, and those are all breeding true. They're all reds. We have a female. You can see her tail kind of in the back. Let me see, like over there. She's behind there, kind of going in and out with him. Probably getting ready to breed the next week or so. But I also have my flower pots that they like to breed in. They chose the cave this time, and there's plecos all over this tank. Probably a good 50 or so, if not more, and they're all the super reds. There's one up there on top of the sponge filter. Sorry, I'm kind of rushing around. I know these aren't a lot of good shots, but it's been a long time since my last video. I just want to give you some updates. This tank here is my blue eye spot pleco project. So you can see the male right there. It's a leucistic, or some people call them an albino, but they have the blue eyes, not red, so they're more of a leucistic pleco. And he has that spot on top of his head. So I'm breeding anything with odd markings or spotting, trying to recreate that. And these guys have bred. Project I've been working on for a few years now, so nothing happens overnight. It takes some time, but there's a bunch of babies in this tank, and a few of them do have the spots, but it's still not sure if this is going to be a kind of a proven strain or not, but I'm gonna keep working with these guys, growing up the babies, breeding them back to each other, see what I get over time. But that's a project I've been working on for a while that I'm kind of excited about. Here's a 40-gallon tank I've had running for a while. Kind of cool because you can see all the varieties that this pair is throwing. So this is only a pair, maybe a trio of Plecos, and they're throwing all 4 species that I really am working on. The commons, albinos, the reds, and the calicos. So you can kind of see in this tank, even though it's harder to see, but there's definitely hundreds of Plecos in here that are all sellable size. So this is kind of my goal, where I want to be doing this with pure strains of long fins where I'm getting consistency, and especially the super reds. These Plecos are really cool, but imagine just having 100 2-inch long red Plecos in a tank. It would just look amazing, and people definitely like them. I sell those online, so always running out of stock on them. So if I could really start breeding certain strains, and it's the same amount of work, you just have to have the breeding stock to get started. For instance, these guys I've had for 3 or 4 years. Some of these Plecos that have grown up, like there's an adult back there in the cave. I just don't have that many adult super reds. I maybe have 6 in my entire fish room, but when it comes to the larger guys of the albinos and commons, I have dozens of them, so I really can crank out those numbers. So trying to just kind of migrate those numbers of fish with certain colors. But let's jump into it and kind of talk about what's going on in the fish room and the plans, because there are some big changes about to happen, and some reasons why things are going on. I'll kind of explain things, kind of excuses, but you know, same thing. I'll kind of talk about it with you guys. So here's the main portion of the fish room here, where I have these white custom stands, and I'm starting to drain tanks, move fish, sell a lot of my things, because I'm actually working on closing on a house. So I got to move all of this stuff in the fish room to another building, or my house. So there's a lot of stuff here I can't all do at once. And I was thinking about just draining some tanks. Like this whole white rack, I was going to drain all these tanks, sell some of the fish, and then just keep these wrought iron stands temporarily, and then kind of just fill these tanks up to the max. What I actually want to do in my new house is do a bunch of 55-gallon tanks, so have fewer tanks but larger tanks. Be able to kind of decorate them a little bit better, and I want to put them on an auto water change, so I can drill bulkheads in all these tanks, have them go to the floor drain, have a drip system on them, so they're getting a lot better water quality, which is going to allow me to kind of overcrowd the tanks just temporarily, while I can kind of get by and sell some more things. And then eventually I could possibly bring this over to my house, if not the whole thing, at least a portion of this rack, but I might be selling it now. So I have someone I'm talking to. I might be selling a lot of my fish in the white rack to him, and then who knows, I can rebuild or do something different. But kind of check in with you guys. I don't know what your thoughts on that is, but there's a lot of things going on, moving all furniture, getting new stuff, making modifications to the house. So just want to do an update, show you some of the fish, kind of explain some things. And also my laptop just broke a couple weeks ago, so that's another reason I haven't been doing videos, because it's hard to edit. So this might be kind of a choppy video. It's all off my camera. I'm gonna upload it from my iPhone. So just checking in with you guys. Let me know what you think about me moving the fish room. It's already happening. I've been draining tanks, so just doing an update. I know it's not the best quality, but hope you guys are all doing well, and I will be doing videos more frequently from now on. Definitely showing the moving process, the fish, and I'll hopefully be able to do more things, because I won't have so much time of cleaning tanks, where I can focus in on the fish. I can work on different breeding projects. I can videotape and upload more often. So I think it's going to be good in the long haul, where it's kind of 1 step back, 2 steps forward. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you forgive me for taking so long to do another video. Check out my old videos, and I will talk to you guys next time.